Today you guys are going to be studying about forms. Last week we studied about shapes. If you remember, shapes are two-dimensional, so they have a length and a width. Forms are three-dimensional. They have a length, width, and height. Now, if you're sculpting with clay or with paper or with something else, you can make that length, width, and height. But on paper, on a two-dimensional surface, you have to create the illusion of length, width, and height. That's where the shading comes in that we already practiced last week. But what I want you to do today is actually draw these forms out. So for a lot of these forms, if you put them at different angles, you'll get different views. So I want you to draw at least 3 different angles of each shape. Some of them, maybe you don't need to draw more than once because they're so similar. For example, if you have a sphere is equal on all 4 sides. So no matter which way you put it, it's still gonna look the same. So you don't need to draw the sphere any more than once, but for other objects, for other forms, I do want you to try and draw a few different angles, right? Like this cylinder, if you have it like this, it'll look one way. If you have it like this, it will look another way. So, you're gonna take your form, put it down, draw it one way first, put it down another way, and you probably can't see it because it's off camera. And then you're just going to take that angle and you're going to draw as best as you can, all right? Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need to use a ruler. Your lines might not be as straight as my lines, and that's fine. You can start off drawing light, just to get the basic idea of how it should look. And then after that, you can darken in those lines, right? And then I want you to remember those different shading techniques that we practiced last week, and I want you to use those. So in the case of the lighting here, it's lighter up top, so I'm just gonna leave that blank, and then on either side, it's gonna be somewhat darker. So I use, a hatching and cross-hatching technique for each of these sides, and I'm gonna draw each form maybe 3, maybe even 4 times, depending on what the form is and how many angles I can get. I want you guys to practice this because these forms form the basis for everything, right? So I can take this, it's not a cube, but this rectangular form, and I can take this cylinder, and I can use these when I draw people, when I draw buildings, when I draw animals, any type of object or organic being. I can use these forms to help me out. So the more you practice with this, the better your drawing is going to be. All right. So give this a try. Try and fill up the whole paper, and then that will be it for today.